joined here with one of my best friends, Tristan Sheridan, and we just gonna talk about saving money. And I want to share my system of saving money because it works for me. Time and time again, it works, and I just want to share my system. As you see here, all this is money that I actually saved. Money that's going to the bank, and I figure out what to do with it later. So like what you see, well actually, let me start with the penny. I mean, oftentimes, man, you see these on the ground. Yeah. I mean, people won't even pick them up if they on tails. Dumbest thing I ever heard. Because I swear, if it's on heads or if it's on tails, it's worth the same. And not only is it worth the same, it's only 1 cent. So I guess, you know. But what I figured out is, if you don't appreciate the penny or 1 cent, it'll be hard to ever be rich. You gotta appreciate all money in order to make big money. So like what you see here, you know, I got my nickels, my dimes, you know, my quarters, they're kind of heavy, and then I got my bills right here. So like what I do is, and you notice my quarters, my pennies, they not rolled. And it's like when it comes to money rolls, you know, for the pennies, they have 50 cents or 50 pennies. And, you know, nobody's really trying to count up pennies by the ones, roll them, and then be like, oh, I got 50 cents, you know. So what I do is I keep all my pennies to use them to break odd change. So let's say if I could go have breakfast at McDonald's and it's $6.67, I count out 7 pennies, and then, you know, they give me the change, and I end up with, instead of getting 3 pennies back, you know, I end up getting 40 cents, maybe 1/4, a nickel, and a dime. So I keep all my change, like all my loose change, I keep my silver change. I use my pennies to get more silver change, and then I put them in jars. So I got a jar full of dimes, I got a jar full of nickels, and I got a jar full of quarters. And I just live life. And then as time goes on, I end up with, it's $5 right there of dimes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, that's $30. Nickels, you know, a $2 nickel roll, that's 2, 4, 6, 8. So nickels and dimes, that's $38. You know, that's a good dinner right there. You know? And then the other thing I do, because obviously it's not just change, but I remember one summer I added up, you know, all the change that I had accumulated over about 1.5 years, and I ended up with $350. And that's change. $350 of change that I had just, you know, just saved and forgotten about. You know. And then the other thing I do is when I go and I spend money, and let's say if I break a 20, I keep the ones. So it's like I always keep my ones, so I have like, I just, you know, put them on my nightstand, and then when I get 10 ones, I wrap them in 5. So I put a 5 and a 5 on the outside of 10 ones, you know, put a paper clip on it, and that's $20. That's it. So all these, you know, you got your 5, and 10 ones. So it's like when I break a 20, I keep the ones, you know, then when I get enough ones, then I grab a 5, It's like that. So it's like, I mean, you might live your life where $20 isn't a lot of money. Yeah. But you do it enough times, you end up with a stack like this. Wow. So when you look at it, I mean, man, that's $400. Wow. You know, so it's $400 right here. And then, this big jar of quarters right here, that's $100. So that's $500. This, that's $75 a quarters. This $38 to go with that, that's more than $600.
That's $600.
And that's savings. All this is going to the bank today. So when you think about it, what is $600? You know, I mean, the 4th of July is coming up. Appliance sales.
Right.
I wanted a new stove. That's my new stove being delivered. You know, it changed. I needed a new refrigerator, or if I just wanted to sit it in the bank for, and so you know, and this happened before. Wake up in the morning, jump in the shower, the water's cold. Need a new water heater. Instead of, you know, putting it on a credit card or hurting my pockets, continue to save.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would recommend doing this, even if it's not your primary means of saving. I know some people may, when they get paid, they put a certain amount into the savings, which is good.
Right.
You know, that's smart, but I would do that and I would do this. Keep your change. You know, count your change, and then one day, you might end up with an extra $100 to go and put on top of what you're already saving. And, you know, not to sound like a kid, but sometimes it becomes fun, because I look and I'm like, dang, you know, that's another $100 that I saved in 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
And to me, that's good. You know, so again, it starts with the pennies. I use my pennies when I'm shopping and spending cash to save loose money, to break the change, to get silver change, which I save in jars. Again, I got a nickel jar, I got a dime jar, I got a quarter jar, and then when they get to whatever the amount needed, like $5 for dimes, I roll them. That's 30 bucks in dimes right there. You know? Nickels. I'm gonna need a lot of quarter rolls for these. And then, so that's just half of it, you know, my change. And then the other half, my bills. Again, every time I break a 10, a 20, a 5, I keep my ones. Count up till I get to 10 $1 bills, and then I wrap them in 5, 5 and a 5, so $20 sandwich. You can buy a lot of sandwiches with this $20 sandwich. You know, and then 20 bucks. And I just do that, and then half the time, I got $400.
Wow.
So when you put it all together, I mean, that's savings.
Yeah.
You know, you can't lose saving money.
How long did it take you to get to that?
Okay, so when it started, you know, I had a piggy bank, you know, and I would just put my change in there and kind of forget about it.
Right.
And then that was the summer when it was like I had 2 piggy banks, you know, OU piggy banks, and they got full. So it was like, damn, you know, and I didn't want to buy another piggy bank, you know, like, man, I ain't trying to have a bunch of piggy banks, because when I got it, it was just, you know, OU, just to have something, you know, decoration, you know, with my OU section of my room, but then it got full. So I had to, you know, empty out the change, but it was so much change, and I was like, man. So then I got the rolls, and I started counting it, and I literally had like $338. Yeah. But it was so many pennies as well that I was like, man, I don't want to be counting all these pennies. So I was just thinking, you know, I could use the pennies to get my silver change, and that's where it started. And then with these, it was like one thing that my mom, that she would do to try to save $1 a day. So, you know, $1 every day, you know, she would put $1 in a box. And then you say at the end of the year, you end up with $365.
Right.
You know, which would be good for savings, or if you want to treat yourself to something special. And I recommend trying that, $1 a day. But what happens is, some days you end up with more than $1 to spare, and you literally, you know, you get ahead, you're like, well, I got these dollars, and then and the next thing you know, and I tried this, and I literally tried to save $1 a day, and I ended up with, instead of $365, I ended up with $1,400. Yeah. So yeah, and that summer, that was the summer I put new tires and rims on my truck. Yeah, the big boys. Yeah, refresh, $1,400.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
So this has been a principle you've been practicing since you was a kid.
No, I wasn't a kid. I I was a grown man.
Okay, so you this was grown man. She got the piggy bank and all that.
So yeah.
Okay.
You know, because I was using it for decoration.
Yeah.
You know, my OU Sooner Strong, I was like, oh, let me get the piggy bank. You know, I had 2 piggy banks. You know, no sense of having an empty one. And that was where it started with the change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, anybody who's watching, give it a shot. Give it a try. I mean, you can't lose.
What would you say to, I guess the question to a lot of people probably have in today's society, it's a swipe society. Bar swipe. So we don't have a lot of loose change laying around because we're swiping everywhere.
Yeah.
So what would be your advice in terms of getting something started like this to someone who, like myself, I'm pretty card dependent myself. So I don't have a lot of change. I
mean, it's a lot of things that, you know, a lot of the reasons I would advise not swiping. For one, I mean, I'll swipe before. You know, I mean, I swipe, I got a credit card, you know, I got a debit card. Every time I swipe my debit card, every time I give my debit card to somebody, I kind of feel nervous. You know, like, what's gonna happen now? But I mean, I remember one time, you know, I got a call. You know, I got a call from one of them automated calls from my bank asking me, did I go to Walmart yesterday? You know? So, shit, I go to Walmart about 3 days a week. You know, so I was like, you know, yeah, I went to Walmart, cool. But then, like, a week later, I was checking my my bank account online, and I see a Walmart purchase in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, when they called me on the thing, they said Walmart. I live in Dallas. They didn't say Phoenix, Arizona Walmart. So I'm like, this is some bullshit. You know what I mean? It was like 2 $65 purchases. Alright, so I called, and then the dude, he's like thinking he's smart. He's like, well, why you say it was okay on the thing? You know, like I'm trying to cheat. You know, then I'm trying to explain to him. I'm like, well, if I swipe the card at Taco Bell on the same day as I supposedly swipe my card at Walmart in Phoenix, Arizona, how the hell is I in Taco Bell in Dallas in Phoenix, Arizona, you know? And then he finally, you know, he humbled himself. Yeah, and then he's like, okay, you know, then they cancel my card. I don't even know if I got my money back. I don't feel like I did. You know? And that's one thing. But then the other thing is, when I swipe, I don't save money. Like literally, when I swipe my card, I don't save money. And I actually spend more money. You know, because I'm not keeping, you know, account of the money that I'm spending, as opposed to if I had cash. Because usually what I do is, once a week or on the weekend, I go to the ATM and I get $200 and I say, this is my money for the week. So I actually can see it. So if it's like Wednesday and I only had 20 bucks, it's like, okay, well, $10 a day, $10 Thursday, re-up at the ATM. Like that. And then again, when I'm swiping, I'm not saving. But when I had the cash in my hand, I'm saving money. You know, it just works. So I mean, in terms of swiping, understand when you're swiping, you're not saving money. You're spending more money than you actually realize. So that's a good way to live when you already have money. You know, but again, you know, so you told me that, you know, you swipe. So if I ask you how do you save money, I mean, what would you tell me?
Well, and that's the thing, because I feel like today, with cash, coins, I think most people may find that a bit antiquated, because now you can kind of duck. You have the option to, people don't do this, but you can kind of duck cash off from like a bank account. You know what I'm saying? You got like a checking account, and you can just, you know, just slide some cash here, slide some cash there. It's a good idea. Everybody doesn't do it, but yeah, I was just from the perspective of today's society where everybody's pretty much having a card. Everybody's pretty much doing banking online. You know, they look on the phone and see, okay, I got this much money, so I can swipe. And you know, I guess my thing is, how do you get them to kind of come down from that perch of credit and debit and come back to a more simplistic money, you know, cash in hand type of you know.
That's a good question. So, how I would do that is, what I would say is, pay attention. You know, because it's like, I'm not talking about how I save money. Because when you look at it, I mean, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. $200, 300, 400, $20. That's 420 bucks right there. This, and I keep track of it by writing, that's $110. 110 plus 420, that's 530. This, and I wrote it on there, it's $75. 530 plus $75. Yeah, that's 605 bucks.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus the 38 that I already counted out. Man, that's down to 650 bucks sitting on the table that I'm not even dependent on because it's straight savings. You know? Yeah. Now, online, when I bank, the extra money, I put that in savings too. So I save money twice. You know? So it's like the proof is in the pudding. Yeah. You know what I mean? So how would I convince somebody who's totally online dependent and swipe happy with their money to save money? I would say, look at the table. So instead of me telling you my system, I'm showing you that it works. Yeah. So it's like, okay, I mean, maybe it sounds dumb, maybe it sounds stupid, but I'm gonna take my $650 to the bank, and they're gonna be like, damn. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Yeah, so shit, you know.
Just look at the proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding, you know what I mean? I mean, if it's dumb, I'm gonna take my dumb ass money to the bank, you know what I mean?
So let's say you do get someone convinced to work with the method of more hands-on cash. Now there's a special discipline that would come with that because, you know, you have ready-made cash in your hand. So I guess my next question would be, what would be your advice to someone who has adopted this method? How do I keep the money? Because, you know, I have the money. The temptation is, you know, I got cash. You know, I go and order come and just, you know, I'm gonna run the movies right quick. Let me just, I'll pay it back type of thing, you know, and then it never gets paid back. So what would be your advice to someone to keep it?
You gotta try and fail. You know, you gotta try and fail. I mean, you get that first $100 of savings. Yeah, that's a good feeling. Now, whatever you want to do with that, 'cause I would rather bust and have $100 to go get that one thing that I really want, as opposed to breaking it and going and, you know, busting this, you know, going to the movies, and then I'm like, damn, you know, that's gone, instead of having that big purchase. So, I mean, you gotta try and fail. Yeah. You know, it's like, damn, it didn't work, let me try it again. And then when you finally get success, because I mean, maybe I tried this before and didn't really get off the ground. And then maybe I did get off the ground and then I kind of see. You know, but on different levels, I mean, if you can't spare the dollars when you break into 20, get on the change. Just do the change. That's it. Just do the change. I'm telling you. Like, I literally had $300+ of change, you know, from a year. So it's different levels, you know. So the bottom line is basically just find a way to save money. Yeah. You know, that changes your whole thinking too. Yeah.
And I've noticed that personally. As of course I stated earlier, I'm more of a card user. But when I do have cash, to see it as you're using it, it kind of gives you a better appreciation of it, as opposed to just, you know, swiping and cycling. So I guess, you know, I'm gonna wrap up with this question is, okay, we got the bank and that way of saving, then we have this way of saving. You have some people say, well, at least I know that if it's in the bank, it's in the bank and it's safe. And as opposed to me having something that looks a lot like this or bigger, somebody figures out I have it, or it's in the house and somebody can come take it, you know. So I guess the mentality of safe money. Yeah. So what would be your pushback on that?
Okay, I understand. Because I mean, it looks like a lot. It looks like it would be tempting, you know, but I put my money in the bank too. Yeah. It's just the fact that, you know, I don't save $20 and then run to the bank. I joke in my own head, I never take my money to the bank when I don't have a lot of money in the bank. Cause you know, when you go to the bank, I know they look at how much money you got. So I don't want to go in there looking like I busted up my piggy bank, you know, to put $100 in, and they like, damn, you ain't got but $40 in the bank. So when I take my money to the bank, it's gonna be on payday. They gonna be like, damn, he got money already and he bring it in. Who is this dude? Yeah. But I keep my money in the bank. You know, save it, take it to the bank. I don't. Yeah, it's not in the mattress. It's not in the shoebox.
Right.
You know. Yeah, I put my money in the bank, and you know that's why I wanted to make this clip. Before I put my money in the bank, just so I could do more than talking, you know, showing. So I mean, when I go to the bank and I put this in, you know, on top of what I got, so I put it in, and I'm gonna move it directly to the savings that I already have, you know, from doing this, and then I'll figure out what I want to do with it later.
Right, that's good. And I think, you know, and people who will see this and then they'll look at the size of it and say, well, you know, before I can go to the bank, I gotta get it. But I guess what we're getting at is that incrementally, you know, if it's, like you said earlier, if it's 20, you know, and you just starting with the coins and work your way up. So not necessarily, I mean, this would be great, but for them to get to this level, but not necessarily having to get to this point and then taking it all in, because I think, again, you do raise the risk of possibly losing or somebody or whatever may happen. Of course, we don't hope that doesn't happen, but yeah, I think that, and then again, I think having cash on hand, a little bit of cash on hand, not a whole lot, is also a good thing. Just if you need it, you never know.
That's true. Yeah,
you never know.
I mean, when electricity goes down, or a few weeks ago, electricity went out when they had that big storm. You can't swipe.
You can't swipe.
You can't hit the ATM.
Yeah, that's right.
So it is good to have cash on hand too. Yeah, because I mean that technology. For one, technology controls your money. You know, you depending on everything, but you know, cash rules. So yeah, it is good to have that cash around.
Cash, it's just a cash society, so
yeah, you can't lose.
I think it's a good method, and the visuals speak for themselves, man.
It's right on the table.
It's on the table. Yeah.
You know, cash on the table.
Right.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you joining me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate the knowledge.
Signing off.